What's up, y'all? I'm back, man. T-Rail, man. I got a special guest with me here, man. Hip-hop legend, my boy, man. And I'm just so glad for him to be here. My boy, Boo-Bonic, man. Just a Philly legend, too. East Coast legend.
Yeah.
You know, I'm over here on the West Coast, man. So I really had to really dive and, get in there and, learn my shit about my boy. But, yeah, my boy, Boo-Bonic, man, he here. You feel me?
What it do?
Yeah, I like that. Philly's most wanted.
I really had to come up, though. Whatever you got going on, I'm going to fuck with it. Honestly.
Yeah. Attitude like
Cancun, I'm a trip.
oh, bruh. You know what I'm saying? I like that, man.
Thank you.
I like that, man. It's a lot of crazy talent always come out of Philly. Y'all be doing y'all thing. And I feel like right now, probably like, I'll say probably like the last 10 years, man, y'all probably like the craziest spitters solidified in the game.
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of people don't be giving y'all, you know what I'm saying, y'all credit, man. And you one of them.
Thank you,
Straight
brother. Thank you,
legend,
brother.
brother. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Straight legend.
I feel like Philly known for boxing
Yeah.
and rapping. Two things that niggas don't try to give us credit for, but Rocky was even
Oh, the
Philly.
Rocky shit.
Yeah, but that's a real thing in Philly, though. Like, for real.
Yeah.
That's why I even did it there. Like, from Smoking Joe Frazier on down, like, that was like, that's what we do in Philly. Box. Like,
You ran up them stairs?
Yeah, but I used to box, for real. Like,
You
yeah.
used to box?
As a youngin', yeah. Everybody from Philly box. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, that's a Philly thing. You
Oh,
can
so
ask
that's why
anybody.
y'all niggas so aggressive.
Yeah, niggas be fighting, man. Like, niggas be rumbling. Yeah, niggas getting that.
Yeah, man. I
It's a real
mean,
thing.
so much shit, man. You being a legend, like, before I even get into like Lil Bonic, like, damn, like, how was it? How did it make you feel, nigga, just to see like Will Smith like win the first rap Grammy, just being from Philly, like, nigga, I'm that nigga.
I mean, I thought that shit was dope. And the coolest part about it is it wasn't like really far removed from my real life. Like, because Charlie Mack, he's like an OG. He responsible for a lot of people come out of Philly, period. Like, if somebody came through from Meek to us on down, they had an interaction with Charlie Mack on some level. And Charlie Mack was Will Smith's security, but really his friend. But he wound up being the security guard back in the day. So, like, my sister boyfriend, Mark, and Charlie Mack, they was right there. So I used to be around. I used to see Will and them pull up in the awkward green Benz with the rims and all, so like to see him win the Grammy too, I thought it was obtainable. Cause I'm like, he'd been over the house before, you know what I'm saying? I'm listening to Brand New Funk as a demo and all this kind of stuff because they got the tape.
So Will was at the house.
Definitely before, yeah.
I
for
was
sure.
just talking to Jay Mills, and he said, bro, I used to see Big L down the street. I'm like,
Yeah.
never.
No, Will definitely pulled up in that Benz. It was like either aqua blue or aqua green. Never seen nothing like it with some rims on it with one of his chicks. Like, he was killing it. I was about to say his baby mom, but I don't think it was his baby mom.
Man, and
Yeah.
I was looking at a whole bunch of shit on the internet, man, trying to get a feel for what you be doing, you know,
Yeah.
as far as interviewing and all that little shit, trying to, do my
I
journalist shit.
don't really get into too many
Yeah, but
interviews.
you ain't really never,
Yeah,
you
I
know.
don't really get into that.
I think I'm like your first little, like crazy though, cause I seen you with your boy on the couch, but I'm like,
Yeah.
you ain't really never dug in that shit, like
Nah.
really had like
All
a
my shit
solid,
been art.
yeah,
Like, it ain't been no real hip-hop industry type of interviews. Nah, not really.
cause they was kind of like, I feel like cutting a lot of y'all shit off the internet.
Yeah.
Almost kind of like
Yeah.
taking y'all down
Yeah.
off the internet, because it was kind of like fuzzy.
Yeah.
Almost. It was like other different sites posting your shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this shit? And I'm just putting two and two together. I'm like, hold on, they taking my boy down
Yeah.
off the internet.
Definitely, yeah. I feel like niggas try to rewrite history
Yeah.
how they want it to be. And that's cool, you know what I mean? I always been real confident in myself, my abilities. And so, like, all those tactics, they work for somebody, but, like, anybody who ever encountered me, they know what it is with me. Like, you know what I mean? They can't
Yeah.
dim that, like, you
Yeah,
feel
oh
me?
God.
Like, I'm on site more than anything. Like, so it's like, yeah, they could take your shit down, but they still got to see your boy.
Yeah, and they gonna get to see you
Yeah.
right now. And we
Yeah.
gonna talk about it, man. For my younger viewers and my viewers that kind of like ain't that much in tune with the hip hop culture and what
Yeah.
you've been doing and what you
Yeah.
you've seen. So I want to start with younger Boo-Bonic. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? How you came up.
Well, I mean, basically the come up for me was like Big Daddy Kane. That's the nigga that made me want to rap. You feel what I'm saying? And then it was like this girl, funny as shit. She had a big ass butt, but she like was I thought she was a like
the world's so sensitive right now that you can't even say that shit.
She was like a tomboy. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, but she always had the fresh shit on. And you know what I mean? And she used to hear us rap, and she'd be like, yo, my brother, like, he like an exec.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let him hear y'all. And we'd be like, man, fuck out of here. We didn't even know she had a brother. And cause he was in New York, we know this now. So we never even see, it was just her and her mom, and she always had the fly shit on, scooters and all that shit. So long story short, her brother was Kurt Barrows, that we didn't know, but Kurt Barrows started Bad Boy with Puff. So this is like early. So we go around the crib one day, he around there, and we rap. Like, and he got the little mini Jerry curl John with the like with jeans on and some shoes and like a button up. We like, who is this nigga, man? Like, you know, like,
Yeah.
we ain't even try. We thinking still some food shit.
Yeah.
So we rap for him. He like, man, well, you know, we can't really. It was 3 of us in the group. He's like, we can't really fuck with y'all right now because we got this group called the Locks that we just signed. And they 3 people too. But what I can do is I can like shop you around on some other labels, some of my friends.
How old were y'all at the time?
19.
Oh, y'all were 19.
Yeah.
So what age did you start rapping?
I started rapping at 8.
At 8?
8 years old, yeah.
Golly.
I used to do art first. My dad did it. I was an artist, but like, I ain't never think you could be an artist. You know what I'm saying? So I'm listening to Big Daddy Kane and them. I'm like, I'm trying to be on that type shit. So
Yeah.
I start rapping. Excuse me.
So, and then y'all grew like, so were y'all going to school with each other, your group members, or just in the neighborhood?
We lived on the same block, couple
Yeah.
houses down, grew up together. So it was all from the block, literally from the block. Yeah.
Damn. And so 19, your boy said, I got the Locks already, and I'm doing that. And he was already from Bad Boy. I mean, because in those times, bro, you really had to really grind. Ain't no internet, ain't none of that shit. Like, so, like, how hard was it for you to be seen in those days?
I mean, just think about who he was telling us he was and how he was handling it.
Yeah.
That's how hard it was. It was like, we ain't have nowhere we could look to fact check who this nigga is and none of that. So to us, it was like, I don't know who this nigga is. And for us, you had to really grind because it had to be word of mouth. So we was jumping out on every corner in Philly. Who y'all got? Who rapping? And just battling. Like, that's how we got our claim to fame. Like, we was known for just like going. You know what I'm saying? So anybody pull up, well, we pull up on people and we just let them have it. That's just the truth. Like,
Who made up the name Philly Most Wanted?
we all kind of did, like, but you know, the funny shit is when we first started going up the label, because that's how we felt. Everybody wanted us out there, like in Philly. We started going up the label, and them niggas was like, y'all should just be called Most Wanted, and we could put y'all like with some New York people, and y'all could kind of swing it like y'all from New York. And we like, swing it like we from New York? Like, nigga, we from Philly. Why would we do that?
Yeah.
Philly wasn't popping at the time. You know what I mean? So, like, it wasn't cool to be from Philly at that particular moment because it was, like, years and years since somebody actually came up out the city with a record deal. Like, literally, I don't want to say Will Smith was the last person, but that was the last big person.
Yeah.
Before us, you know, because we had a deal before Beans, before any of them. So it was literally, like, the door breaker, honestly, and then Beans just, like, you know, he just...
Who did y'all end up getting signed to?
Atlantic.
Oh, Atlantic.
But we had Jay-Z was like the real person, and we took Beans up with us to our meeting with Jay-Z. I wasn't there, but it was our meeting.
Hold on, before we get into that, hold on. He like, hold on, nigga, I got some shit to tell.
Yeah,
So when y'all got signed, before we go get to that, but when y'all got signed, like, soon as y'all got signed, did y'all go right in with the Neptunes, or y'all had other producers?
it was 3 of us in the group. The nigga, the third member, our manager, we wasn't really fucking with him because once we brung Beans around, this nigga started acting like nobody else could rap no more but Beans. Like, he was the only person that knew how to rap all of a sudden. You know what I mean? Like, which was just immature on his behalf because he was a manager, so he really had all of us.
Yeah.
So he fumbled the rock. Like he really did. And they ain't had Beans either. You know what I mean? But you know, it was like the third member went with him. He gassed him up, made him think he was the best. So the nigga said he wanted to get off the label. I mean, he wanted to get off. He thought they was gonna kick us off the label and keep him because this nigga didn't convince him he was the nicest. So in turn, he thought he really was. He went to the label like, yo, like I don't want to rap with them no more. I want to rap by myself. And the label was like, cool, like just give your money back and you can do whatever you want to do. And he like, no, I'm saying like I want to stay signed, but like I just don't. They like, nah, like we.
Oh, you gotta stay in a group.
No, they wasn't. They didn't even like him. They thought he was the weak one. Like, no, seriously,
He didn't know.
He didn't know, but his man had him thinking he was the best. You feel me? So like, they hit us like, man, we was kind of like, no problem. Like we ain't really, honestly, like we'd take them because it was a group deal, but we wasn't,
So as soon as y'all hopped in there with the Neptunes, it was just like...
No, we went in that... I said that for a reason, because the day he came up with his money...
Yeah.
They was like, we got some producers in the room that we want y'all to meet.
Yeah.
So we getting the money back from his part of the deal, and we go in the other room when they put him in that room and Pharrell and them in there. So like, that's when we met him, and we was just spitting, and the nigga was on the phone, and we was just spitting, and the nigga was like, on this phone, like, let me call you back. Like, I gotta call you back. Like
the nigga was on his phone while you niggas was rapping?
No, because like he was like he that kind of nigga. Like you know, like he was listening for sure. Like he was more on the phone with his eyes big.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if he was listening to the person on the phone. Like you know what I'm saying? Like he was like just looking like what the fuck? Like then he finally was like, yo, I gotta call you back, and hung up and was like told us about this group he had called the Clips, and that he wanted us all to meet and work together and fuck with each other, and just, it was on right away. Yeah. Right from there, first meeting.
Damn, because a lot of those records, man, y'all have with that nigga, he kind of like changed the trajectory, nigga, of y'all life, right?
Oh, no, Pharrell is single-handedly the biggest influencer of my life, for sure, because like he changed it. He changed the whole shit. And at the time, you gotta keep in mind, like Pharrell is who he is now, for sure. And he was definitely special then, but like it was still experimentation going on musically. So he had us and had the freedom to like experiment as far as melodically, Yeah. And that's what he did. And we was all for it, We was like coming out the hood. We like, hell yeah, let's do it. First song the nigga gave us sound like an R&B song. And we come down to Virginia and the nigga played the song. We like, what the fuck is this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, like, what is this? And he like, yo, just trust me. He like, it was a trust game with Pharrell, and that's what we learned very early. Yeah. It was like, I'm not fucking with this song. He like, trust me. Just do it.
Bruh, I was in the studio with that nigga one time, with some mutual people or whatever the case might be, just being a fly on the wall. And that was one of the craziest experiences I've ever had. Like seeing a producer make beats with his mouth and all, pause, but beatboxing and loading some shit up and doing some shit, and it was a beat, and I'm looking at the homie like, you see that shit?
But the beatbox to me, it's funny you say that, because the beatbox to me, I used to tell him this shit, it never sound like the beat. Like, he used to break out that beatbox like, yo, the beat gonna be like, oh, and I'll be like, oh, okay, that shit sound fire. But then the beat be way crazy. I'm like, dog, this don't even sound like that shit you just did with your mouth. Like, but yeah, he used to do that a lot.
What's the craziest moment you ever had in studio with that nigga, bro?
With P?
Yeah.
Bro, probably when they did the Sade remix. That shit was crazy. And Sade wasn't even there, but it was just like, yeah, I think that was probably the craziest, because he was doing that joint and then Puff came over to the studio. So, we fresh off, like, he talking about he trying to get him to work with Shine, and, he play us the song he did with Puff, and we like, yo, this nigga. Like, it's just like, just watching him elevate, that shit was crazy. It's a lot of moments, dog. I can't lie. With like, Pharrell.
Super legendary.
Yeah, like, some of them shit that sound fake. It's too many. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but and circling around back to that Beanie shit, like, y'all was like really doing y'all thing in Philly, and y'all was really moving around, and it seemed like the music game was kind of open back then to where you can do your thing, and you said you walked Beans right into, Jay's studio, but to even be able to do that.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah.
you know, that shit is sick as fuck. Like,
thank you.
tell me some of the conversations that you even had with Jay to have that kind of relationship to do that.
The thing about me and Jay was like, I could tell he looked at me from an artist standpoint. He was like, this little nigga like a little me, like, you know what I mean? Because our voice very similar, you know. So on record, you know, so like, but he knew, which I always respected and appreciated. He knew I wasn't trying to sound like him. He never accused me of trying to sound like him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just people like, yo, you sound like Jay, dog.
Was that a thing though?
Yeah, how for me, that was
Yeah.
the thing. Always. Like, yo, that nigga sound like Jay. Like, you know what I mean? But like, this how I speak. I rap how I speak. You know what I'm saying? Like, my cadence don't really change. So like, for me, this all I knew. So he knew that. So like, he was just a dog. I'd say a bar, nigga, I think the nigga wasn't even really computing it. That nigga be like, 30 minutes later, like, yo, you said baby weight 6 pounds and 9 ounces? Hey. Like, that shit, like, you know,
You
like,
think he tried to take some of that shit or what? Like, you know what? I'm gonna take that shit.
I don't know what he was trying to do, dog. I just know that, like, it was just to be the young boy and like Biggie and Jay being my two favorite rappers, and then like opening up for Biggie, you know what I'm saying? Like, being in his presence before, and then like being in the studio with Jay and them. I just felt like you couldn't tell me I ain't fucking making. I'm like,
Oh my
nigga,
God! First of all, let me lean back. You opened up for Biggie.
Yeah, definitely.
Please elaborate. That's crazy,
this was
bro.
early. Like, this was, it had to been what, 92, 91. Yeah.
So
Like,
you around.
Yeah,
I'm
dog.
talking about Ether around.
So yeah, so our old heads, right? They was Get Money old heads. So
Yeah.
what they would do is they would book the people that they wanted us to be around. They would like pay for them to do shows in the city. You know, they was getting money.
Yeah.
So like we'd get a hotel room on the same floor as the niggas and all, and they don't know what's going on, but it's like a lot of it is set up to like, so
Yeah.
we got a chance to rap for these people.
So
Yeah.
the homies in the hood who had money, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
doing, you know, selling drugs.
It
or
was
whatever.
our old heads directly though, just not like random getting money niggas. Like, it was like our old heads.
That's
yeah.
love, though.
Yeah, of
Give
course.
money and then book them so y'all can be around them and
to
build
make
a relationship.
definitely to make money too, for
Yeah.
sure. But they knew the play was like, oh, we gonna get the young boys on. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The young boys gonna get on. And they booked Nas in the one time. That's when Nas made up that bullshit ass story talking about his little brother kidnapped. This is some old sucker ass shit that ain't.
I was hearing about
Yeah.
that, bruh.
That
Hold
shit
on, like,
Yeah, right.
so you got kidnapped, cuz.
Nigga, please. You out there, motherfucker.
They said they threw Boo-Bonic in the van,
that's what
closed
they-
the door, all the whole little shit. So
Yeah.
why they come up with that story? What y'all niggas owe some money or what?
Nah, I think it was over a girl.
Oh my God, what girl though?
I'm gonna leave that alone. I just think it was over a chick. You know, like,
I mean, cause you damn, you had Khalees in your video.
yeah, she was in the video. That was people's.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, how'd that relationship come about though?
From the
cuz?
Neptunes. You know, she was signed
Oh.
to the Neptunes too. So we used to kick and be around.
That was cold, man.
Mm-hmm.
Where was you? Where was you around when that Ether shit dropped?
Ether who? Jay-Z and Nas?
Yeah.
I was in Atlanta.
Did you still have a relationship with Jay at that time?
At that time, we had, a relationship like if I saw him, it was love, it was love, but like, nah, we wasn't like that. But it was a point where he had, in hip hop, shout out hip hop, he can attest to this, where hip hop, somebody, this one, the Skyway, two-way pager joints hit us like, yo, Jay said, come up to Manhattan to the studio. Like, we'd come up there, he'd just play us his shit, and we'd play him our shit, like, just straight like that. Shit was crazy. When we was already signed to Atlantic, the nigga tried to get us off. Yeah, he tried, but they
Why you never go? Like, why you never went over
we
there?
couldn't though, because once he went up there and he said it, he was like, once I went, then it was like, he tried to finesse, he tried to if you don't know what to do with him, like, I'll take him. They was like, nope, no, we know what to do with him. Because we sat for like a year. Like, that's how people came out before us, so it looked like we didn't come out first. We sat for a year and a half, really, like, before we even put our music out.
Bro, you got so many like super crazy stories in that time. You've
Yeah.
been in every like little time frame, even with like AI was going crazy.
Yeah.
You ever had you got run-ins with my boy?
Of course, Bubba Chuck, that's my dog. The funny thing about AI used to be like, it depends on who you get, how you meet people.
Yeah.
And I met him through a girl. So like it was love the first time I saw him, you know, she like they rap, you know, this not a. But like every time after that, I had to reintroduce myself to this nigga for like a year.
I heard that nigga was tearing the city.
He was, but like I got introduced to him the wrong way. Like niggas used to feel some type of way with me when it came to the chicks. I don't know. They
it's
just
always that way.
They was just sensitive. So like I kept introducing myself. I'm like, you know what? I ain't speaking to this nigga no more. Like fuck him.
Yeah.
Like I ain't gonna keep introducing myself. Like I know he know. Like. We got the shit on lock at the time, running the radio all day long. There's no way he don't know.
Yeah.
And he always be like, oh yeah, you know, after I reintroduced myself. Then the last time we was at a bar and I ain't say shit to him. He was like 4 stools down, like right there. And he came over to me. He's like, I know you think I don't fuck with y'all, don't you? But I mean, super cool from that point forward. Like super cool.
Yeah, like nigga, why would you get at me like that?
I'm like, yeah, I do. He like, no, he like, some people you fuck with their music, and some people you fuck with them and their music. He like, I fuck with you, dog. I do. I really fuck with you. And then we was just cool from there. Yeah. Yeah,
y'all niggas was real spitters too, man. I wanted to see. I wanted to know where the hell was y'all at in those rooms, like when Cassidy was going cooking shit. You know what I'm saying? Especially when he cooked Freeway. Like, where was you at, man?
I don't know where we was at that day, but that was the time of spitting. But what I will say about Cassidy, and you know, everybody, the thing I hate about this industry shit is everybody grow into who they are, and they act like they don't want to remember shit that happened, like that make you less of. I don't like that.
Yeah.
But Cassidy, he was on the couch. He wasn't rapping when we was rapping. Like, he was like our young boy, you know, that used to be on the couch. We used to go pick him up from school. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit like that. Like, he was the young boy. Like, we was running a factory in Philly, bro. 56 in Woodland. Black Dana House. That was like everybody who you know from Philly and who you don't know from Philly rapped in that house before, bro. And that's where we lived at.
Yeah. So, I mean, he don't like, you know... He don't be like, oh, Boo-Bonic and this and that and the other. Like, he don't really kind of put the stamp on it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
He will if you asked him.
Yeah. What? Oh, yeah. And I wanted to ask you, when that boy Gilly, when he was going crazy on Wayne back then, like, that's all I fucking remember from that nigga. No, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, Gilly, don't get at me crazy, but I don't remember no songs, nigga. I just remember you going ham on Wayne, like, and he was just relentless with that shit. Like,
I mean, but Gilly, another one, like, it was like, I ain't gonna go down the list because, you know, Philly niggas take shit personal, but it was some straight killers on the spit and tip, and Gilly was one of them, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so like out of all the folks, it's a lot of us, but like, he was definitely one of them, bro. Like, easy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, easy. I had a bald head back in the day too, so like, when I was rapping, so niggas people always just like, say me and Gilly look alike and all this kind of other nut shit.
Why the fuck you had a bald head that young, though?
Because but if you look at the album coming and everything, I had a straight bald.
Yeah.
But I had alopecia. Right?
Oh.
I was like, you know, I seen a lot of niggas die in front of me, a lot of my homies.
Yeah.
So like back in the day, I was stressed. I ain't know what to do with that stress. You know, I'm a young boy. I'm just going through the motions. And I got alopecia in the back of my head, like 4 spots. So that shit, if you know about that, that shit like get bald, like beyond bald. Like it changed the color of your skin.
So when you thinning out, baby.
Yeah.
Just cut it.
So I just cut that thing off. It was like, you know, I was on my Pac shit. Fuck it.
Man, I'm gonna give you a story, man. I was in Philly, man. I'm like, that's when I knew. I'm like, these Philly motherfuckers is crazy. I'm in Philly. We had to do like a little club or whatever the case may be, and the promoter, I don't think the promoter promoted right or whatever. Mm-hmm. You know, we went to the club, boom. We go to the club, and there wasn't nobody in that motherfucker. We pull up, tour bus booming. We go in that motherfucker. They cook for us. Ain't nobody boom. Nobody in there. But they was like, you know what? Ain't nobody in here, but we just want to kick it with y'all on a personal level. We want to chill.
This is dudes or girls?
This is a gay girl and some dudes. They we just gonna chill. We like, all right. But look, the homie like, we out of here, right?
Yeah,
I'm like, well, fuck it, we gone. Like, but I knew it kind of wasn't the right thing because they spent all their money. They booked a little hall, and I
Yeah.
know they out the bread, so they chunked it up. They just wanted to kick it with us, and we didn't.
Yeah.
We shook, boom, but we shaking. We go to another club that's popping, like
Yeah.
up the street or whatever the case may be. We popping away. I'm thinking I'm a tour manager or whatever the
Yeah.
case. Like, you know, I got to go get the car because my artist coming back out the club. So I
Yeah.
go, you know, and Pharrell had just gave me this gold backpack. It looked like that Louis backpack.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah,
gold.
yeah,
He
yeah.
had just gave us that backpack, right? And the boy gave it to me. So I'm holding on that motherfucker with my dear
like,
life.
this that shit.
Yeah, so I got all the shit and I'm in the club with that motherfucker,
Yeah.
right? So I come out, boom, I come out and I see them niggas from the other
I
club.
remember you wearing that book bag.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
I come out, I'm like, oh, what's the deal? Y'all finna come in the club too? And they looked at me like with this look, and I looked at them and I said,
They coming back for
yeah,
this.
nigga, I ran,
they
nigga.
Need that. Yeah,
they
need
needed
that.
something back, homie. I ran. They grabbed that backpack. They
needed
was
something.
fucking me up, man. I mean, in Philly,
real?
bro. What? Knot on my head. I'm bleeding right. I run. They take the backpack. I'm knocking on the back door, the club door. Like, bro, I'm hurt. Out here, bro. Like,
Oh no, I don't fuck with that. They
man,
did my
I'm
boy
like,
T.
man, them, I'm like, niggas is crazy in Philly, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
As soon as you said though, the funny shit, my mind. As soon as you said they came on the bus and was like, you know what I mean, like they trying to chill. No, that's what they not. That's what they
The
not.
niggas
They
need
like,
they
I need
money
that money
back.
back. Like we took an L, we getting it back right here. They tried to do us like that in Baltimore.
yeah.
Niggas got hit with the fake Black Rob.
What?
Yeah, the fake Black Rob. Rest in peace. I mean, no, the fake G Dep. Sorry, it was the fake G Dep. And they introduced the promoters like, yeah, this G Dep. We like, oh, what's up? Like, you know, we ain't know what was going on, but we knew it wasn't G Dep. We was like, oh, what's up? We like, yeah. Nigga went out to perform. All you hear is do 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 do. Security like, stay in. We got paid already. Long story short, we go to the hotel. You know, they got jammed by the fake G Dep.
Yeah.
Jammed the whole shit. Niggas try to take us back to the train station in the morning, but it was a girl staying in the room that I was fleeing all night. She stayed in another person room that was with us.
Yeah.
And then she drove us to the train station in the morning. And I was like, why is she sticking around? Like, you know, she was just thirsty. She hit me later. She was like, yo, they was going to come back and rob y'all. That's why. She's
that
like,
shit
and I was treating her like
crazy.
shit the whole time. And she saved us from a bad situation.
And she saved your ass.
Yeah, she did. They
That's,
tried to
that
do us
shit
like
was
that.
going on a lot back then in hip hop,
Yeah,
man. You know what I'm saying?
that was the move.
Niggas taking shit, doing the shit. Did you spend a lot of your money on jewelry?
Yeah, because I was fucking with Jacob. You know what I mean? So
you had to. You had
yeah,
to.
that was the game at the moment, you know, like, yeah, I was. But I lived and I learned now. I'm in business with jewelers. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, everything I fucked money off on, I made sure to incorporate it in this new life. My second go. You feel me?
I mean, ever since that day in Philly, I'm like, nah, they got me fucked up. But I'm like, that Philly cheesesteak is crazy.
Yeah, it's
you know
crazy.
What I'm saying?
Damn, they got you, dog.
They got me,
Oh,
dog.
man.
You know what I'm
Got to
saying?
be more careful,
And
man.
Meek even called in. He calling your boy like, hey, you good? I'm
Yeah.
like, man, hell no, I ain't good. Nigga, I ain't coming back to this motherfucker.
Yeah.
I bet you that's how niggas feel like that in L.A., man. Because shit, L.A.
Yeah.
crazy as a motherfucker.
Yeah.
For
I mean,
sure.
I've been here, shit. I know it's crazy, bro. I've been here like 15 years now. I've
And
been
it's
here,
wild.
I've seen it all. I've seen a lot. Yeah, like it's crazy. It ain't no joke.
What's your top 5 Philly cheesesteak spots?
Top 5,
Top 5.
gems, and gems.
I hear everybody say that. That's crazy.
That's what I fuck with.
Hop
man.
out, get it, and get out of there.
Yeah, just get it. I mean, South Street ain't that bad. You know, y'all might have been on South Street, but
Nah, I've been on South Street.
South Street ain't that bad. Ishkabibbles used to be good. I went back recently. They under new management or something. They still got the name, but the shit. It wasn't
ain't hitting the
same.
same? So it ain't Jim's then.
No, Gems is the same. I said Ishkabibbles.
Oh,
That's like
okay.
across the street. That's another spot. They got the Gremlin, like the lemonade with the grape. That shit fire. But they under new management. But it was between those two spots. But Gems the same, authentic.
I mean, in Philly they do. Everybody be having the beards, and it's a lot of Muslims going cracking.
You
You
out of
ever dip?
pocket.
You never? You?
I'm
like,
Muslim though.
You
I'm born
Muslim?
Yeah, I'm born Muslim.
What?
My birth name is Al Basir Hakeem Salahuddin Holly. That's my name.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
I'm born
that's
Muslim.
how you and Shakir
Yeah.
like this.
Yo, you remember me and Shakira was, you wasn't there, I don't think, when we was arguing on the bus about the Rumble on the tour.
Hell no, but I heard about
That shit was funny. My man was hot with me. He ain't speak to me for like a week on tour. You know, that's a long ass time.
That's
Like,
a
yeah,
long time. My boy
Yeah.
would do that shit to
Yeah,
you.
he stoned me for like a week.
Man, that's
Shout out
crazy.
Shakira.
But shit, how is your relationship now with Beans, man? After all
Beans
this
been
shit
over the crib like a few times, like this year.
in LA.
Yeah.
Damn, that's
Like-
cold.
Like, he had went on a podcast, Oskino, and he had told the story kind of like it wasn't all the way correct the way he told it, but he went on Breakfast Club though. I don't know if I should be mentioning other joints on here.
Nah, you can mention
Oh, yeah,
whatever
he
because
went-
I need to hear that story anyway.
He went on Breakfast Club and kind of like just he didn't realize I wasn't on that trip because I wasn't on that trip. You know what I mean? That particular time.
So what did he initially say though?
He said that, I asked him to go up there, which I did. And the only reason it was room for him to actually go up there is because I didn't. Because I had something else planned that I had to do that day. I know that sounds crazy. It's like, go meet Jay-Z or like, go with your girl to the Spirit of Philadelphia for her graduation. Like, so it was
Yeah.
like, I chose that like an idiot, but I chose that. So Beans, it was room. He went, I didn't go. So, they rap. I heard it was some niggas from New York up there and they was rapping. I ain't hear nobody got dusted, but the way the story sounded was like they Philly's Most Wanted got dusted and got sent back home. And I'm like, I don't like none of that. None of that don't sound right.
Why?
Like,
Why would they put y'all in there? Why was they just trying to like get at y'all like that?
Nah, I think the niggas might have been like, I think it might have been some like spitting going on. But one thing I will say, no matter what, I know my dogs can rap. You
Yeah.
know that I wasn't the only one that could rap in the group. Like they could rap. So like the dusted part, I don't know about that. But like it might have been indifferent. Niggas might have just been like, I don't know who did what. But Beans start rapping. That's what really shifted everything because Jay never heard Beans. That was the first time he heard him. So he start rapping, and Beans don't really have no manager and nobody. He really a free agent up
he
there.
just out there.
He just out there. But my manager saw the play, saw how interested Jay was in everybody, and was like, no, like this one you can get him. Like so that's how that went. I don't know why it went like that, but the time I went after that, and it was just me and Beans.
Yeah.
The spit for Jay. And I was rapping nonstop. I was the last one rapping. And that's just a fact.
You gotta be super blessed for that. You brought Beanie Sigel to Jay-Z. That is crazy, bruh. Like people really need to hear them stories. Like,
Yeah.
bruh, like
That's my dog though. Like even since he been over the crib, like we was just kind of reflecting. You can relate to this. Like sometimes you can be like comrades with motherfuckers in the industry and not really chop it up. We spend a lot of time, have some real history with the people, but not really chop it up about life and the type nigga you. At least at that time, it was like that. It was very surface and very much about music and who you popping and this that kind of talk. And then like we getting to know each other for real later in life.
Yeah.
So like it's a better respect there.
Cause you been through shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We going through stuff and it's just like life will hit you different ways.
Yeah.
You got kids now.
Everything different.
Yeah, we looking at it, at the bigger perspective
Yeah.
of things. Like it's really crazy. Like I really do be having those sit downs with my homies, like, and then be chopping it down. Like we should have, and a lot of those moments, I should have been taking it all in.
Yeah.
And a lot of these moments in the industry, I wasn't
You don't
taking
get to
it.
take them in though.
Man.
It sound good.
It was moving too fast.
I was about to say it sounds good. Like you should take it in. The only time you get to take it in is if you get a second act.
Yeah.
If you get a second act, then you get to take it in. But like most people, when you in that moment, it's fast, bro. And like you ain't none of this. Everything is new. Like you ain't never been in this situation. It's the first time I ever been in the studio with Naomi Campbell and Tyra Banks. Like I don't know what I supposed to be acting like. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but they in there chilling. Like, you know
what the fuck Naomi Campbell doing in the session, bruh?
We was in the Fuji session. Cause I'm like funny as shit. I'm on Prize album. The whole group is on 3 songs. Ghetto Superstar. This before we even had a record deal. The nigga paid for us to like come up New York and get on this shit because he thought we was nice. And Naomi Campbell was in there with Clef. Straight up. I was just like, and they was talking about the cannabis beef, and she was like, I know shit about him. He better shut his mouth. Talking about L. It was like, yeah, it was some crazy stories. Like, and then Pharrell was helping Tyra Banks with these like some highlights. She was helping, he was helping her with some music at one point, and she had a Victoria's Secret photo shoot in Sony studio up New York and a recording session. And Benny Boone was in there. Facts. Benny, if I'm lying, I'm flying. He was in the room, going there. She got on Victoria's Secret lingerie. And it's like, I didn't even know what to do because there wasn't a lot of people in there. I felt like if I even breathed, they was going to kick me the fuck out. Like,
yeah.
Like, I'm just sitting there like I ain't moved. I stayed still. I was just sitting there, dog. That shit was crazy. I was like, wait. Man, we go back to the hood after this. We back in Philly, you know, on the freeway. We like, dog, we was just in a Victoria photo shoot.
Damn, bro.
Victoria's Secret photo shoot with Tyra Banks, dog. Niggas like, nah, no way. But we always took niggas with us, so, you know, we had verification. Like, am I lying?
Yeah,
niggas
am
like,
I lying?
Bro,
yeah, I was
we
there.
Was there too.
Yeah. But, you know, having all these memories and going through all of this stuff, like, what ultimately... You know, what was the change in the group to where y'all was like, you know what, we got to break this shit up?
Well, it was really bad management. We had bad management, bad business. It wasn't really the music, bro. Our music, we was number 3 in the country. Like, you know what I mean? We was doing it. The music wasn't it. It had nothing to do with it. It's the classic case of, like, business.
Yeah.
Going wrong. Like, our career is strictly a cautionary tale for bad business, you know? Other than that, I think they did a thing on, I want to say Vice or something like that. Mm-hmm. Did you see that one, that article?
No, I didn't see that one. But, you know, just looking at it, I'm like...
But they broke it down really crystal clear, like what the issue really was. And, yeah, bro, it was just business. And then at a certain point, you get jaded. You know, like the business jaded me. You know, it's like so much fuck shit happening. I'm just like, you know what? Fuck this shit.
So much. Did that shit take a toll on you?
It didn't take a toll on me only for the set reason that, like, I watch niggas create who they better self within the music industry structure, right? So if something with the music don't go right, everything that's dope about them is relying on that. So they gonna suffer bad. I didn't feel that because, like, honestly, like, I got all the chicks I wanted before this rap shit. I was me before this shit, far as, like, I was just the same confident, fly nigga that I feel like I am still to this very second. You know what I mean? So, like, it never was like, oh, this shit ain't working. I'm you know, I could go back to the hood and be normal and still be killing it on that level. Yeah. Like, it wasn't no shame, really, you know? So, like, it didn't take that, because I think the embarrassment would have been what would have took the toll on me.
It's like what me going through right now, and as far as like what his struggles with his record deal and his record label and all the whole little shit, for that shit to still be happening is just beyond me. That shit is just so disrespectful, and you still come from that era too. Like, and it's just like, bro, we still on this same shit.
Still on it.
That shit is crazy. But when Pharrell start fucking with the Clips.
He fucked with them first for the record.
Oh, he fucked with them first because I was gonna say, like, did he use the same formula he used on y'all?
Listen, I'm glad you said that because I've been wanting to say this on the platform where it can be seen and mattered. That whole idea that Pharrell did anything strange with us and shitting on us for the clip. The reality of the case is when he met us, they was already signed. They had just got dropped from their label, and he started working our project. So look at it from their point of view. Mm-hmm. They might be looking at it like, dog, we just got off our label and you fucking with these 2 dudes just like us and trying to make them hit, giving them hit records, like big songs that's gonna be on the radio and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So he gave us our shot. We fumbled it. You know what I mean? with bad management. and shit like that. And that's just what it is. Like, ain't nobody at fault but us. You know what I'm saying? And although we was young, I'm still man enough now to take the credit for the like, you can't even blame it on the management, really. Because we picked those motherfuckers. We could have been like, you know.
How many people was it there managing y'all?
Bro, so the chick Angel that I told you, the tomboy, it was her and another dude from Philly who used to manage us, Stevie G.
So hold on, the tomboy girl from Philly that introduced y'all to my boyfriend Bad Boy end up managing y'all.
Yeah, I mean, what you think the price of that is? Like, yeah, she got us. Yeah, she got us.
She like, I need to be in the door too.
So our manager at the time, which was his name was Stevie G, like he never managed nobody before. We was the first group he ever managed, ever put in the studio, any of that stuff. So like they linked up, they you know, but nobody knew what they was doing. So I can't blame them all the way. Then I can't blame. We had 2 other managers and all kind of fuckery just ensued, you know. So like I'm old enough and wise enough at this point now. It's like that shit was on us. We should have been more stern about it. And even with the rap shit, like my partner, he wound up not even doing the rap shit no more. Really, these niggas, Jay-Z. This is a fact. Jay-Z, Dr. Dre, all these motherfuckers used to try to get me to go solo.
Yeah,
all the time. Like for real, Pharrell would tell me, Jay was like, yo, tell the young boy if he goes solo, I make him a star right now. Like, and this when we way signed. This when we got music out already. You know what I mean? And my loyalties is just, it never even crossed my mind. You know what I mean? It's like, nah. Like,
so you hearing this through the grapevine, and they
I'm
just whispering
straight up. Yeah.
Straight up. Hey, go
not
solo.
In front of him.
Oh, yeah,
but like private conversations like, yo, this nigga said if you go solo right now. This nigga said if you go solo right now. You know. But to me, just the pedigree, the cut, it really never crossed my mind. So I didn't feel no kind of way about it. But now, looking at it in retrospect,
bitch, I should have went solo on your motherfucking ass.
And it's still the
same. No,
you for real.
You wish you would have went solo?
I do, man. Only reason I say that is because he wound up tapping out.
Yeah, he didn't really love it as much as you did.
Nah, he didn't, and that's just true. Like I, you know, that's my best friend. We grew up together. We brothers. If it wasn't for me pushing that shit on him, he wanted to be in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like he wouldn't have gave a fuck about that music shit. But like my point of view was always like, everybody talk that street shit. Like it's easy to sell this coke. It's easy to do all this shit, sell itself. Like, but like to really put yourself out there in that kind of way and really dedicate yourself, that's not that easy. So like it wasn't a matter like tough or not tough. It's like, nigga, let's get some real bread, bro. Like, fuck this nickel and diamond looking over our back bullshit. Like, let's really get it popping. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get some millions.
Yeah, when was your, like, time, you know, the day you was like, you know what, fuck that, I am really finna go solo at this point.
It wasn't no day. The nigga quit.
So he quit and you just had no choice.
Yeah, it was just
I thought you actually really left.
Nah, bro. It wasn't that kind of, like, we was brothers first. You feel me?
Yeah.
We got fucked up in Atlanta, you know. Shit was tight. Shit was beyond tight. We was like done, broke. You know what I mean? Tricked it all off in Magic City, and I don't regret none of it. But you know what I mean? It was a rack. So you know, he went back to Philly unexpectedly. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know he was going back to Philly. Like, and that, you know, that's cool for him. Everything worked out how it's supposed to.
Did you reach back out like, hey, look, I'm trying to go solo?
No,
but the deal wasn't on the table?
Oh no, I definitely didn't try to double back. At this point, it was like, we kind of not damaged, but just, you know, played it too cool. So niggas like, man, I ain't sweating these niggas. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't no action at that point. Niggas rather watch you drown at that point.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, you remember all that? Oh, yeah. Okay. Good luck out there. Like, more like that.
This industry is cutthroat.
Cold-blooded. Yeah, but cool.
Cutthroat.
Listen, man, I'm at a phase in life where, like, all right, I love it. I love all it. I love all of it. Okay, be like that. Let's see how it end up.
But was being a solo artist like harder for you than being in a group?
In my mind, I was also always a solo artist. That's how I wrote my raps, isolated. You know what I'm saying? Like it never was hard. I love collaborating, but it never was hard to be a solo artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it just wasn't.
Cause I seen you performing with Dom, songs with Dom. different songs with like other artists, big artists at the time. Like, damn, this nigga really going solo. And then that one thing I came across of when you came out with Beans, like, how was that performance when you came out with State Property?
That was hard, and that was like maybe 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And it was hard. It was dope because it was like right before Corona. Like Corona was in the building, but we ain't know yet that show.
Yeah,
that was that Christmas. But he was supposed to be there too. But like, understandably, somebody that we both knew had got killed a couple of days before that. So, you know, maybe he ain't feel like coming out. But like, I felt like we all knew the nigga that, I mean, we all knew.
So he was in the building and didn't come out with you?
No, he definitely wasn't in the building.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, he knew of that show too. And it was basically all the Philly artists just coming out on State Prop set and doing like a little something real quick. That shit felt good because, you know, all I had to do is stick the mic out there.
And they were singing it.
Yeah, and it's like 100 years ago.
And they still run that on the radio?
Yes, sir.
To this day?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Philly hard for that.
Yeah, they still run that. They got to, though, because it was the 1 at 1, the 3 at 3, the 5 at 5, the 10 at 10. Every countdown for the entire year, that shit was at the top, bro. Every day. Every slot. It was just there, you know? Wendy Williams, I remember one time I heard her on the radio, like, because she used to be on talk radio in Philly. She was like, man, I'm tired of this shit. I don't even want to. I'm not even introducing it as number one. I'ma just let it play and turn this shit. Like, it was like that, bro. It was like that. Yeah.
Then you know, all of that shit, and your life started kind of like taking a turn, and you kind of like, you know, going another way. Yeah, you definitely pivoted another way. I want to know, like, how did that Rich Hill relationship come about?
Oh, okay. So I was in Atlanta, and a dude that I knew from Philly was in the mall. And as soon as I was walking in, they was like walking in too, but I was like a little behind. And I looked and I saw him. I'm like, yo, he's like, oh shit. He like, yo, I'm working with Youngin. Like, I'm like, I didn't know who Youngin was though, because I tell Rich, he looked like he was like in the terror squad or something. Like, he looked like a little Spanish kid, like a low black cut, big ass chain on. You know what I mean? He looked like terror squad or something. Like, I didn't know who he was. And I was like, all right, like, you know, it's music. You want to help with some music shit? Yeah, let's get it, you know? And then that's how we met. And then he was a fan of, you know, he kind of put him on all the Philly artists, and he got good taste, Rich. So he knew he loved Beans and he loved us. You know what I'm saying? Before, he ain't know none of that connection, nothing. It's just like how he feel. And we just got tight, you know what I'm saying? And I knew he really wanted it, like music. And I knew he felt like people was going to always try to discredit him because of the situation. And and that's where we connected at on a friendship level, because although people look at him and be like, how y'all two friends? But we both dealt with people trying to make it seem like we not able to do something for a reason that don't make a lot of sense. You know
but
what
you
I mean?
Rich as a motherfucker, so and people like, nah.
Yeah, they like, I ain't buying it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and for us, it was just like, they just wanted to write us off just because they just wanted to. Like, because we wasn't like them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they was just like, y'all ain't like us, but like, I'm not like y'all. Y'all niggas is nuts. Like, you know what I'm saying?
There come a point like, how the fuck Bonic get over there with Richie and Richie over here rapping? That's hell no.
Yeah, but I believe in it to this day, like I believed in it then. You know what I'm saying? Because I know Bull. Like, I really know him at the core. You know what I mean? He really solid and he really got talent. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
how did Tommy Hilfiger nigga take that all in at the time?
Well, you got to think, like, that's his son. You know what I'm saying? And when you got kids, you got a son. Like, you know what I mean? It's like at a certain point, you just want your kids to be happy. You know what I'm saying? And then you never know what a person's aspirations used to be back in the day. Like, before they become who they become. Like, he used to want to make music. He used to want to be in a rock group. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So on that level, he understood. And Rich is a crooner. You know, he ain't necessarily a rapper. Like, he's just a crooner. He's like Bob Dylan. That's who Rich is to me.
Do he still make music?
Yeah, he still make music. And something I can attest to when it comes to him, something I've seen with my own two eyes. Lil Peep, we already know that because he got records with Peep and all that. But like Peep, XX, all those dudes, bro, all of them be hitting them up all the time, telling them how much they Juice WRLD, all of them, how much he influenced they sound.
What?
Because he did, bro. He
That's
was on that
crazy.
suicidal, sad boy shit, like when nobody else was doing it, bro. Like
That emo shit.
yeah, he was on that. He just was. And from that perspective, pills, drugs, dark, he was on that.
Yeah.
So like he was ahead of his time for that. Like but the real ones know, because I've seen them acknowledge it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
How's he doing right now?
He good, working on music. And
That's
he
crazy.
finally getting this like lane where, you know, he can just run. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
my brother for life, dog. Like for real, for real. That's my real brother, blood
Yeah,
brother.
and a lot of people don't know you have a relationship with Schoolboy Q, and you seen before it was really Schoolboy Q
Yeah.
that he is now. Like, how do you feel seeing? How you feel seeing my boy like flourish? Like
It's just so
like,
funny
It's
'cause
just so crazy,
It's
right?
so funny because, see, like, you know Q. Like, knowing Q, just his position at one point was, like, very much like, man, fuck, dog, I don't know this shit. I don't know what I'm going to do. You know, da-da-da-da-da. Like, that nigga used to be whining like a motherfucker. Like, dog, stop pouting. Like, you got to just get, you got to just, like, make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to watch this nigga just, like, take off like that. And I remember it. He ain't even had no jack. He ain't had no phone. He'd be FaceTime me off a computer in Seattle,
Yeah.
like up there selling whatever he had to sell to just have a little something for the baby. You know what I'm saying? Like watching him do that and sending him music to when he was in TDE, dark ass weird studio. That shit looked crazy at the time. It was like in the
In
beginning.
Carson, in Carson.
And he'd be
Niggas was back there,
He'd be
yeah.
FaceTiming me from that shit, and just, you know, just to see and watch like how that shit started unfolding to like meeting him in New York when he still was like a hype man for Dot
Yeah.
at the time. But like I go show up and he like, yo, the shit about to go. My nigga sold 5,000 this first week. We lit.
Oh!
Like talking about
I remember that.
Yeah, and I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, wait, what? Sold 5,000? Like, I'm like, how's that good? You know, because like our album sold 25, 30,000 the first week, and it was a horrible first week for us.
Yeah.
So I couldn't understand.
But you was on the major though.
I know, but see, this is stuff I don't understand at the moment when he's saying it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then watch him and then understand, like, no, this is independent. And then watch I was like, oh wow, that shit was amazing. Happy, I smile every time I think about Q being up. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's
Yeah.
just funny. And he one of my biggest collectors of my art.
Yes, sir. Let's
A
talk
real one.
about it.
A real one.
I went in his damn house and I said,
A real one, dog.
I'm like, you feel me? Like, bro, like,
But I'm talking about
like,
paying cash, bro, too. No, for real, like he know what I respect about it is like he know good and damn well that he don't have to do that. You feel me?
I mean, but look what you have created. Like, all right, we touched on the rap shit.
Yeah.
You pivot. This is I'm going into the pivot.
Yeah.
I had to bring up Q because he is one of the biggest artist collector of your shit
Yeah.
I've seen ever.
Yeah.
But like you pivot from a rapper to what is a contemporary artist?
Yeah.
You're a contemporary, like not like no bullshit. Like my boy is real life legend out here. Like your art is in some real life galleries
Yeah.
and people homes.
Nice
like,
collections. Yeah.
there's some nice collections. Like
Yeah.
I have a piece of art. Like
Definitely
people don't
do.
even know
That
that.
piece
Like
crazy too. I love when I see it when it peeked through. That
it's
time.
always
Like,
there.
okay, I see
Yeah,
it.
it's
Yeah.
always gonna be. It's
I
always
like how
gonna
y'all
stay
framed
there.
it too.
Yeah,
I
like
it.
bro, I'm like, and it's worth bread. Let's
Yeah.
get it out. My boy is like what the 5-6 digit mark, right?
Yeah, we up there.
Yeah, like-
we not playing. Yeah. No, we not playing. Like, I mean, listen, man. Like, you gotta feed the beast.
Man, how the fuck did you change your life into that? Like, you know what? Boom, I'm an artist, and then it's just like,
All right, here.
and it.
You want to hear the cool shit? So this the cool shit. The cool shit was Rita. I met her through another friend of mine's named Emily Rose. Introduced us to Rita Ora. So my boy Rich, naturally, you know, I'm like, yo, the Rita Ora, like Rich is at this point, he's
Yeah.
just like beast mode. Like he's like, oh yeah, I'm like, you know. So they start kicking it. So you know, she going on this Euro run like all these shows over Europe, Spain, all kind of places, right? So Rich like, fuck it, we should just go. Like, once we get to travel, like, fuck it, let's just go. Like, all right, bet, we go. So Emily worked at Adidas, so I had all these Adidas. She sent me all these Stan Smiths, like, bunch of them, same color. I'm like, the fuck, like, you know what I'm gonna do with these on?
Fuck so it, they like forces.
So I took Crink, and I just took a Crink ball and just like every city I knew we was going to, Berlin, whatever. I just started writing all kind of crazy shit on them, and you know, I start wearing them overseas. Everybody was geeking in the airports or wherever we was at. Rita was seeing it. So long story short, Rita got a Birkin bag, black one. She was like, listen, I need you to blast that motherfucker and send it to me. Because we was in London. We was like posting in London for a minute, a couple months. She was like, she was in somewhere else, maybe Berlin or somewhere. She's like, just send it to me. Like, I need that. So I'm at her crib blasting the bag, you know, just for free on the humbug. I ain't really pivot to art. Like, that was more therapeutic for me, just to have something to do while I'm trying to figure out what I'm really going to do. You know what I mean? I was thinking about being a DJ at one point, my nigga. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I was on some shit. Like, I got, like, I'm not a bum. I'm not a bum. I'm not gonna be a bum. Like, we gotta figure this shit out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm like, you know, I'm like painting this shit just because I know how since a kid. So I'm painting her bag up. She like, what's your email? She gave me her email. I mean, I gave her my email. She posted on her page like, yo, if you want your bag painted, like, this is the guy, like that. This changed my life. That changed my life. I went back to my email. Shit was like inquiry.
So she got you painted her purse, a Birkin. Boom, yeah. She gets spotted out in it, take the flicks in it. Everybody want to see where it's at.
Everybody need that.
Yeah,
and it started that, by the way, I saw no one's Birkin before that.
Painted.
Never. All of them came after that. So like that's 2012. That's like my claim to fame, like that I never even claimed. You know what I'm saying? But like that's really what happened. And shit, anybody can attest to it. And like it's stamped because you can just look it up, you know, her bag and it come up. So it's like I was like, damn, like all these people asking how much for the bag. I don't even know because I didn't really do that for money. Like I was like, fuck it, 3,000.
Need it.
Holla. But I thought people was gonna be like, damn, fuck out of here. Like, you know what I mean?
But it's serious. It's just something about it. It's like
they was like, where I send the money.
I know one day I told you I look at this shit. I was like, I feel like I can do this shit.
Yeah.
And you said, no, you can't.
Yeah. But the trick is to make people feel like they can do it.
Yeah, it just looks so.
You should make people feel like they can do it.
That shit's speaking to me, man. Yeah. And all the art in Q House, like that shit is like it speak to you. Like every section is like it's something, and I can feel it. It means something to me too. Like that's crazy.
It's still bars though, on some real shit. Like I took it to the canvas, but it's still a rap, nigga. Like the title, the meaning. Why it exists, what's behind it, it's still bars. You know what I'm saying? I'm just barring them with the art now. You know what I'm saying? But like, for real, like it has an emotion, it has a feeling, and it's captured, and people see it and be like I just had some people come over the day before I came here, like somebody won a commission in an original, and they just like, man, it's just talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't know these people, so I know it must be doing something because I don't know these folks. Yeah. And they come in with 50. 60, you know what I'm saying? At the time, like, I don't know these people, like, so it must speak to them because I ain't giving nobody 60 unless something talking.
Yes, but I mean, but besides Q, like, who's the biggest person, you know, that got art?
Like in the hip hop, or just
period? We can go hip hop too. We can go hip hop too.
Michael Jordan got one for his twin daughters. It's Lola Bunny. I killed it with the ball, like. Who else got one? George Perez. A lot of people might not know him, but that's a billionaire.
Oh, no, yeah.
That's a billionaire, and he got the Perez Art Museum in Miami. He's a collector. A lot of billionaires, dog. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I don't know. Like, you know, no, for real. Like, they don't do much. Like, you know, they not on Instagram. That's the thing. It's like two sides to this game. It's like an Instagram artist, and then it's like a contemporary artist. And I'm on Instagram, but I definitely would never call myself an Instagram artist.
You're definitely a real contemporary artist.
Like, people hit me on the email, not on my DMs. You know what I mean? So
people be looking like, you know what? I mean, they be talking about NFTs and shit, and I'm like,
I'm Gucci.
Nah, nigga, I got this paint right
Yeah, I'm
here. This
Gucci.
is my first piece of art right here. Like, this shit worth bread. Like,
I ain't
don't
doing
even,
no NFTs either.
like-
I ain't did none. Like,
yeah, what you feel about that shit though? That shit weak.
I
huh?
feel like it's too much unknown. And yeah, you know what hustle remind me of? I don't know how y'all hood was, but it was niggas in my hood who would literally tell all the young boys, hustle up, young boy. You know what I mean? Don't spend all your money, stack that shit up. And hustle, and wait for them to stack it all the way up and then rob them.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was niggas on my block like that. You know what I mean? So to me, that's what this feel like. I could be wrong, you know what I'm saying? but that's what it feel like. It feel like Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah.
Like, they know what's up more than we do, but they need it. They don't need us, but they making us feel like they do. So now they pulling all our intellectual property in, and then they want you to build up your e-wallet, and then they gonna take it. Because they know how to do it. They know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. I don't trust that shit. I could be wrong. You know
Man,
what
you
I mean?
was speaking on jewelers, you know what I'm saying, and having a relationship. And this is right here one of the biggest relationships. I feel like it's just super crazy. You got a relationship with, what's his name? Jason the jeweler.
Yeah.
You did a collab with him. You did the Rolex with him, right?
I did
And-
the Rolly. I did this. I did this.
Yeah, and if you don't know who Jason the jeweler is, you know what I'm saying? He
Yeah.
behind pieces for Michael Jackson, the NBA, NFL, Super Bowl rings, and my boy
Yeah.
got collabs with him. Like, he a
Yeah.
real one. Jason's a real one.
That's my dog. And Jay like one of the first people, once I transitioned to the art, that like lined up to do some real business with me. Like, for real. Like, so like, I used to waste money on jewelry. Now, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's part of my business. So, like, I think that's cool, too. Like, when you think about it, you're like, man, nigga really changed his life. I used to be wasting money. Now I'm making money from the shit I was wasting money from. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm proud of that shit. Like, because that, you know how we go.
Yeah.
Niggas just blow that money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I ain't blowing that money no more. It might look like it, but trust me, I'm not.
I got my boy in here, used to be a rapper, pivot, transition into a contemporary artist. Now I see you, I'm like, okay, my boy, you know, he living life, he in love.
I'm on my what y'all shit called tether.
Trevor, you funny.
I learned from the best.
Yeah. I know motherfuckers be hitting me up, even like, you know, homies that's real gangster or whatever, but they be like, I love that little shit you got going on.
Yeah,
you make
for
that shit
real.
look tight, bro.
For real. But no, it's real shit. Like, you know, we both artists, so we met like at an art museum. It was real. It was organic, and like two people, her best friend and her best friend's boyfriend, who was a good friend of mine, they passed away in a car accident together. And I didn't know her before that, and I didn't know her even after that immediately, but I met her at an art show we was both showing at a museum in Cleveland. And she was like, your voice, you sound like somebody, like my homie that passed away. I'm like, who? And it was Sue. And I was like, oh, shit. And we just, you know.
Click.
We clicked from there, start talking. Been rocking ever since, dog. Literally, since that trip.
Man, I love to see it, man.
It's just been like that.
Shit, yeah. Before we get out of here, man, I need everybody to know, man, what's your top 5 all time?
My shit gonna sound boring because it's just like the same, you know. Like
Nah,
top
it's not.
5.
I want to hear it.
In no particular order, because I ain't gonna do that. But Biggie, Jay-Z, Andre 3000. That's
We be having beef around this Andre 3000 shit.
No, I fuck with Andre 3000. Yeah. I mean, to be quite honest with you, Nas is a rapper. You know, I might have my own personal issues with his character, but as a rapper, he right there.
What personal issue would you have?
The nigga
with
said
Nas'
his brother
character?
kidnapped us. Like, that's fake. The fuck you talking about? That shit ain't real. Like, if a nigga can make some shit up like that, you got a character issue with me, bro. Like, something in your character is weird.
So that nigga said in an interview that his brother kidnapped y'all one time.
And I still got him in my top 5. But it's bogus. Nigga, I ain't never been kidnapped in my fucking life. And his brother, he saved his brother life. That's what really happened. Jungle.
All right, y'all. All right.
Saved his life.
Tell this story before we get out of here.
All right. So one more on my top 5. And I just put a new person just to be fair. I I don't know, dog. I don't want to do the top 5. I don't know who else. All them niggas nice. All you niggas is nice, man. Fuck it. Those niggas, the ones I said, those are the ones I really fuck with. You know what I mean? But this story, like, this was a show we opened up for once again. We opened up for Nas and Mace in Philly. Same play, next to the hotel room, the whole thing. And we end up tinted out Pathfinder. And you just start hearing all these gunshots. Like, but we like in the parking lot trying to get out. So it's like wall to wall. Ain't nobody moving. You just say, pop, 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 right? So we used to that shit, you know? So we roll down the window a little bit. So we looking. So we see the niggas. Like, we know it's jungle. Like, we know it's him. So the nigga running, we open the door. Nigga hopping. He's like, on my kids. And you know I'm not going to lie on them. On my kids' life. Nigga like, yo, son, don't kill me. I stashed the burn in the ice box of the limo. Can you just take me to the train station? I'm Nas' little brother, man. Please just don't do nothing to me. And we like, yo, you good, bro. Like, we know who you are and we know where you at. Like, we literally staying on the same floor right next door to y'all, right? Bringing, he like, oh shit, thank God. Like, you know, da-da-da-da. Get to the hotel, Nas is in there like, oh my God, like, thank you so much. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, I can't believe it. We stay out with the niggas all night, dog, rapping, talking. I had a relationship with the nigga. We would talk on the phone, all that shit. Like, so that's why I say that, because it's like phony. Then like, it's just, it's some things going on in the world right now. Like, and to be fair to her, you know, she just had a loss in her, a real close loss and shit like that. I don't want to really hit on that too much. But like, it was over a girl. Yeah. You know, it just changed. And it was like, it didn't make no sense to me. I'm like, why would he say that? Black Thought played that shit for me. And I was like, why would he say that? Like,
it's out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's weird. It didn't make no sense. And so I had to really think about it. And I was like, oh, I know what it is. And I just leave it at that. You know? Yeah.
All right, y'all.
But we you and I know what's going on.
Yeah, that's a crazy story, man. Yeah. But we out of here. It was cool having my boy Bonic here, dog, man. Yeah. My dog for life, man. And we gone, man. Make sure y'all tune in. You got anything you want them to tune into?
Just check out, Museum 3. Yeah. We about to take over. Me and my girl, Christina Martinez, we about to kill that shit.
Yeah, I mean, give them your Instagram link.
Oh, my Instagram is The Art of Al Basir.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. We out of here.